Welcome, everybody, and on today's episode, I will be giving my non-spoiler review on the new movie, Supergirl. So, let's make our way on the next stop in the DCU as Cine James Movie Talk starts now. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Cine James Movie Talk. I am your host, Mr. Cine James himself, and today I will be giving my non-spoiler thoughts on the new movie, Supergirl. But before we do that, as always, you know what to do. If you like this show, you like the content, you're listening to me on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're listening to me on Spotify, tap that bell, tap that follow, show me some love, and as always, I greatly appreciate all of your support. Before I get into my non-spoiler thoughts, we are going to run through, as always, some of the stats to Supergirl. So let's get into it. So Supergirl released just yesterday, June 26th. This is directed by Craig Gillespie. This had a budget of $170 million. With this just being released, box office too early to tell. This is the second cinematic installment in James Gunn's new DCU. So, it currently has a Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 57% with a popcorn meter score of 76, an audience score of 76%. So now with those numbers and those stats out of the way, let's get into my non-spoiler thoughts on Supergirl. So like many people, I enjoyed Superman. I enjoyed last year's Superman, James Gunn's first movie into the DCU. I actually had a fun time with it. Did it have its problems? For sure. But I actually just rewatched it again to get ready for Supergirl, and I had a fun time with the movie. I thought it was good. And so when in Superman, and this is spoilers for anyone that has not yet seen Superman, at the end of the movie, we get an appearance by Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, and I actually I liked her appearance in the movie, and I liked the tone, and I liked the way that they were portraying the character in Superman, and I liked her look. So, like many fans, I was looking forward to the next installment in the DCU, which was Supergirl. Having seen Supergirl now, my excitement is not the same. I was disappointed with this movie. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that I am tuning out or I've already given up on James Gunn's new DCU. We have a long way to go with the DCU. And I would say that if this movie, if Supergirl, is the worst movie that we get in the DCU, we're going to be just fine. Because let's be honest, we all love Marvel, we all love the MCU, but let's be honest, not every movie and not every project in the MCU was good. We had some really bad moments in the MCU. But when we're looking at these properties and we're looking at these projects, we have to kind of not look at the single individual movie when we're it's kind of like we're not here for the sprint, we're here for the marathon. So we have to be able to take everything in stride and be patient to the bigger process of it. And I think as fans, we shouldn't take this movie and all, because I've already seen it online that everyone's already kind of saying it's time to bring back the Snyderverse and do all this other stuff, that the James Gunn verse is failing and yada 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 and all that stuff. And guys, it's not. Let's just be honest. This is the second movie. Guys, remember, this is the second movie in the new DCU. And with the projects that are ahead, with the Green Lantern series, with the Clayface movie coming out, and then with the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, coming out next year, guys, I think we're still in for a treat with the DCU. But let's get back to the topic here of Supergirl. Again, I was disappointed in this movie. This movie was kind of all over the place for me. It just really felt disjointed. I thought that Millie Alcock as Supergirl, she was good. I enjoyed watching her. I thought for the most part, like if I could find the best way to summarize this, it's we had good characters, they were just in the wrong story. We had good characters, but the just everything around them was not that good. Visually, the movie was okay. There wasn't anything in this movie that was visually impressive to me. I thought that the bus transport fight scene, that was pretty cool. There's when we get to some scenes towards the end, I thought some of those were okay, but overall, nothing in this was really visually impressive to me. And the story around this. So this was adapted from the Supergirl, I believe, the Woman of Tomorrow series. I'm not very versed in the comic books, but I believe this was supposed to be an adaptation of that series. And I just feel like even though they were trying to do an adaptation of that series, and from what I understand, that is a very solid and is a very good series, and I am going to actually go back and check that out. But just looking at the movie at hand, I feel like our other main character, the young girl Ruth, and I understand they're doing an adaptation of a series, but I almost feel like you could just take her out of this movie, and for the most part, you're going to have the same movie. There wasn't anything in this with her where I felt in any way she needs to be here. I didn't feel that way with her at all. I understood where they were trying to go with her, but it's a lot of it is overshadowed by the other story of Supergirl, of Kara, trying to save Crypto from being poisoned. So I think that I think that we would still have the same movie if you would have removed Ruth and not tried to put her storyline mixed in with Kara's. I think for the most part we're having the same movie. The other letdown to me was Jason Momoa as Lobo. And I'm saying that not as his portrayal as Lobo. I liked him as Lobo. This is a role he was meant to play. He was born to play. And I think a lot of us as fans, we were anticipating finally seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo on the big screen. And I was really let down. I felt that there should have been more of him in this movie. And what I really would have liked to have seen, and again, if we could have changed this story up a little bit or tweaked this story some, I would have liked to have seen more of him with Supergirl. I would have liked to have seen him go on this this journey with her more. And I think that I just think that if we would have gotten that, this might have made this movie a little bit better. But I just wanted more Jason Momoa as Lobo. I liked the moments that he had on screen, but I just thought I was really disappointed at the lack of screen time we got with him as the character. And my hope is that, again, as we talk about moving forward in the DCU, I hope that we are going to get a movie or a series or something where we have more of him interacting with our characters. But I really would have liked to have seen the story kind of focal more around with him and Kara teaming up and doing, because I think if they would have gone that route, by the time we get to the next Superman movie or we get to the next time where Lobo appears and we have Supergirl present at the same time and we see where that may take us, I think that coming back to this with them working together would have been a good development for future projects. So that was a letdown for me. As I talked about how the movie feels disjointed, there were some scenes that I felt that they were in the wrong place. And they were actually the good scenes. I liked the scenes with Kara flashing back with her parents on Krypton and then Argo City. I liked those scenes. I just felt that they were in the wrong place in this movie. There's a particular scene towards the last act of the movie that I felt that if we could have taken her flashbacks with her on Krypton and maybe condensed them down a little bit and we could have put them in during this scene towards the end, that would have made it a lot better. That would have served a lot more. Or as we could have also taken the Krypton scenes, the flashback scenes, and we could have put them more towards the beginning of the movie. So I just felt that some of the scenes were just kind of out of place to me in this movie. I think her moments as Supergirl in the outfit, I think the outfit looks good. I like the way it looks. However, I would have rather, and I know we got majority of it in this movie, but I would have rather have seen her more I liked her more disheveled look. I liked her more drunken look. I think that with the way the character was going in this movie, I just kind of felt that should have been. I don't know. I know that this is not gonna. It's not gonna sound right because this is a Supergirl movie, but I honestly. I don't know if we really needed her in the outfit at all in this movie. You could have teased to it. You could have put it at the end of this movie, perhaps. And I mean the end. I mean maybe the last scene or so with what we, the scene that we did get. I'm not going to spoil it, but the scene that we did get. But I really liked the disheveled look with her because that really fit more of the theme that they were trying to give Kara in this movie. That she is kind of the opposite of her cousin, where and they kind of bring that up a little bit in this movie, where he is, he's the do-right, he's the good guys and bad guys, and he's, again, for all intents and purposes, as we always say, he's the Boy Scout. And I like her contrast to that, which, again, we saw that at the end of the Superman movie, and I kind of wanted to see her attitude reflect more through the movie with that, and I don't know if we really needed her in the outfit as predominantly as we got. It wasn't a whole lot, but again, I might be in the minority on this, but I really just wish they maybe would have kept her in the main look that they had, even through towards the end of the movie. The one things that I did like about this, and it's kind of a kind of a pro and a con to this, is I like the galaxy building, I guess, if you will, with her. This also kind of did feel very heavy, had kind of like a Star Wars feel to it, a Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it, which should be no surprise, since this, these are helmed, by James Gunn. However, it would have been nice. It would have been pretty cool to see some of the planets, that maybe we are a little more familiar with, even if it's just passing through. I thought a lot of, even though we were going from planet to different planets and going across the galaxy, I felt that a lot of the places looked the same, and that took me out of some of the scenes. The one thing that did take me out of this was the music in this. I did not think the music in this movie fit at all with what they were trying to do, and it was also kind of. And this might just be me nitpicking. I thought it was kind of weird that we were going across galaxies and we're doing that in certain scenes and in certain places and all that they're singing and they're doing like Earth 80s hits, or Earth hits, rock hits and stuff, 80s, 90s, all that good stuff. I just kind of felt that was really weird. So in the moments where the music is supposed to really shine and come through, I just didn't think that the music aligned with what they were trying to do with this movie. So, like, for example, and I give an example of this, is in Captain Marvel. The one scene that I liked in Captain Marvel is when we get to the end and she's on the ship and she's in her fight scene and they're playing No Doubt's I'm Just a Girl. I thought that fit with that scene, but there was just nothing in this for me that just fit. So the music also took me out of this. Just kind of looking through some of my notes here. I think there is one decision. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a decision that Kara Supergirl makes towards the end of the movie that I did not think was the right decision, because she's spending time in this movie trying to, she's having these mentor-like conversations with our other main character, Ruth, and she's telling her not, don't be this, don't do that, because then you'll be this, and that's not the way. And then when she does when she does the thing that she's telling Ruth not to do, I thought that was a bad decision. I didn't, and also too, in the context of where we were at this movie at the time, it took me out of it. I didn't understand the decision that was made to do that, because it's like we go from there and then we go to our end scene, and again, this movie, I talk about it being disjointed. It just didn't flow with me. It didn't fit with me, and it didn't make sense for me. And I guess you could say, the argument could possibly be made is that you could say, well, she's telling Ruth not to go down the path that maybe she's gone down, that she doesn't want her to make the same decisions maybe that she's made. So when we get to that moment, that's a decision that she would make because she's already maybe at that point. But I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that's a decision that the character would make. And I just, it was like it just was a big contradiction to me on this. But, and then I actually do, all that aside though, I didn't think it was bad. I kind of liked the end scene that we got, because it kind of was one of those, okay, it's bringing you back a little bit to set up, again, as we talk about the DCU and the long-term game. I did like the end scene in this movie, where it kind of was like, okay, we did kind of go through this rough story and on all these different things, and I was disappointed by it. But when we got to that end scene, it was kind of like okay, we're going to settle this back down because now we're going to get you, excited for what's ahead. We're going to get you excited for the next Superman movie, and also too, David Cornsweet in this for the times he's in here as Superman, he is a highlight of this movie. Again, going back to my thoughts on on Superman, I like him as the Man of Steel. I think he does a good job, and I think that he is the Superman we need right now, and I like his portrayal again from Superman, and I like the way he delivers the character in this movie. He is one of the good things in this movie. But that is going to do it for my non-spoiler thoughts on Supergirl. Do I think you should go see this in theaters? Sure, go check this out in theaters. I would say though that if you feel like you can wait for this to hit streaming, you're not wrong for that. Go ahead, you could do that as well. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a must-see in theaters, but it's if you want, it's something if you want to go and have a good time with. You're a big Supergirl fan, big DC fan. Sure, go check this out. But if you can wait for this to hit streaming, that's what I would do. But again, that is going to do it for my non-spoiler thoughts on Supergirl. Just to let you know what's up ahead, we have coming up, we will be having on our other show, Super Cinema Brothers, we will be discussing, myself alongside the Big Rob Theory, we will be having our discussion, and that one will be a spoiler discussion on Supergirl. So we're going to be talking about that. For Cine James Movie Talk, the next couple episodes that I'm going to be having is I'm going to be doing the 35th anniversary discussion retrospective on Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And then we are coming up on the 4th of July. I'm going to be doing an episode on my 4th of July movies. I have a tradition of 3 movies that I watch on the 4th of July, and we are going to be doing a discussion on those. And kind of tying that into what are some of your time of year movie traditions. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we are not too far away. We are not too far away from Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and I cannot wait to do my non-spoiler review and my thoughts on that as well. So that is going to do it. If you like this show, you like the content, you're listening to me on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're listening to me on Spotify, tap that bell, tap that follow. Follow me on social media at Facebook, Instagram at Cine James Movie Talk, and be sure to check out my Reels Cine James Movie Shorts. Again, guys, thank you so much. And as always, I will see you at the box office.